Shut your fucking ass up. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers.
Get the bad guy.
Say that's the
bad guy. That's the one that put him in the bag. Man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm here with Sidewalk Slim. He's straight out of Memphis, man. You know, we talking that hood shit. We talking real number hood shit, no bullshit, and hard on suckers in life, man. That's what I don't understand. See, motherfuckers like me that ain't from Memphis, I can't see what go on in Memphis. You feel me? And motherfuckers be like, oh, you hate no Memphis. I'm telling you, is it true that them folk down there killing motherfuckers every day?
Why the fuck they call it Afghanistan?
Is it true them folk down there carjacking and robbing folk?
Robbing, killing, murder.
If a nigga go down there with a whole bunch of jury and no security without that ammo, his ass gonna be on the news talking about, man!
You might not make the news. You might
Hey.
come in the bay.
I tell you, man, look, this is a couple things we're gonna talk about today, man. But you got me on the other shit when you talk about you been married twice. What the fuck made you do? I'm saying, like, I was married this one last time, and man, I swear to God, I didn't know what the fuck I was missing out on. I'm talking about, did you have a period where you were divorced and you was like, you know, like had a freedom time where you was
I
single?
was separated, yeah.
I mean, for how long?
Almost a year, about 10, 11 months.
Man, so you get your 11, 29 away from love.
Pretty much.
Man, I'm trying to tell you this, right? Like me, I'm building me a poly relationship. I'm fucking with these hoes right now, 26, 27 years old. Cause I don't want like, they can be in love, but I don't want to be in love. I tell them, like, I'll make sure y'all got a roof over your head. I'll make sure you got clothes. I'll make sure you got food. You just don't have to work. If my bag get bigger, y'all gonna be secure. You feel me? So, what made you do it twice? I'm saying when you did it the second time, did you think in your mind when you were saying, when you married me, when you think to yourself, did you have a flashback of all the shit that went wrong in the first time?
Oh, hell yeah. You know, I ain't on that. I was actually like, the second time I wasn't really nervous. I wasn't really concerned. The first time I saw real flags, I just didn't act on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I saw it could be some crazy. Hey, I just didn't act on it. The second time, I was more like, I had been free almost a year. I wasn't even looking for love. It just found me kind of country.
Hey, you know, me and you, like, I'm 46 now.
40.
Okay, we 2 years apart. I'm 79, you 76. Okay. Now we growing up when the motherfuckers out there in the street, like I was telling Brandon today when we was riding and shit, you know, we riding in the air.
Yeah.
But I told Brandon, I said, most cars in like the 70s, they didn't even come with air.
Yeah.
They didn't come with compressors and shit.
Yeah.
He was like, get the fuck out of here.
Now, my mama had a 1972 LeBaron. My mama had leather seats and everything, electric everything, but no AC.
Motherfucker.
No AC though.
Man, look, motherfuckers don't.
No AC.
Hey, these young motherfuckers out here spoiled. They spoiled like, I remember years that we getting them, you remember them station wagons like the Braves?
Yeah.
Man, that was the motherfucking minivan.
Look,
Wasn't no
20
seatbelts, no
people
nothing.
in there, motherfucker.
Man, no seatbelts, no nothing.
20 people in there.
Man,
One
look,
station wagon.
hey, but
All
I
family.
tell you the difference in our generation and generation now, man. Like when I was growing up, I was mostly thinking about getting some money, and I started fucking a lot of bitches. So I was like, man, this shit hard, you feel me? Because when you grow up, I don't know how you grew up, but I grew up fucked up and poor. You feel me? I'm
Yeah,
talking
I'm a
about.
hood.
I grew up with the lights off, water off, motherfucker going next door to, you know what I mean?
Refrigerator from the neighbor.
Oh yeah. Still going straight to the neighborhouse. That wasn't that normal for somebody to be doing the same thing next month. You using their electricity, they using yours because that's what's going on. But see, these motherfuckers nowadays, they so spoiled that they cry about the simplest shit. But the only thing that I see, like, motherfuckers be like, man, y'all old niggas be taking cake in this home. You feel me? No. I don't think I cake a bitch. I think what I do is I just give them what they want without no consequence of conversation.
I I ain't never camped on the beach. I always looked at it
Nigga, I know you don't walk in the club and threw some money there and said,
I always looked at it like it was an investment though.
but see, I ain't, see, me myself, I don't go to, like, if I go to a strip club, I have. But if I go to a strip club, I might pay to get in. But when the first bitch sit on my lap, I'm telling that bitch in her ear, look, I got 200-300 for some pussy.
That's it.
I ain't giving you
We
no,
ain't showing-
we ain't going to no motherfucking VIP
$10, $15,
room.
$20 all night.
No.
Straight to the point.
I want some pussy.
But that's an investment. That's what I mean by investment. See, cause like before I got married, when I was single, going to the strip club, I'm gonna be in here all night. I'm gonna go find what I want, get my target, and I'm gonna, like you said, this what I want.
Hey, look, motherfucker be telling me that some, like, I heard some females, like, cuss me out because of my conversation because I just be straight to the point. You get me? Real shit. But I don't hear some females that look at me and be like, boy, you was talking about old. Which I was, like, I remember the first bitch that I ever caught myself falling in love with. I was probably like 12, 13 years old. I fell in love with the neighborhood crack whore. That bitch was sucking everybody's dick and she sucked my little dick and fucked me up. You feel me? That bitch had me chased up down the street all the bitch. Don't you talk about that bitch. Look at all the crack you need. I was about 12. Every time she came around, I put my dick in her mouth. One day she sent me down, she said, man, let me tell you something. She said, you get more bitches with your swag and conversation like you don't give a fuck about what they talk. Don't be thirsty with them bitches. She said, because when you're thirsty, you get them thirsty ass bitches and you end up in fucked up situations. And from that day on, every time I ever fuck with a bitch, I got put in this trap right here with my ex-wife. Cause that bitch, that tricked me. But it was, we were together since we were 14, so shit just happened to grow apart. But at the same time, I always kept in my mind that human beings will let you down. No matter if they're male or female, they will let you down. Because my biggest regret ain't your biggest regret. Because we went two different paths. I went to the penitentiary, you went to home. You know what I mean? But at any given time, it could have been the opposite way because my target, and that's what we in our era, if you made it to 18, you was either gonna go to the army and try to get some school. And it was more easy to get into the armed forces than anything. As long as you didn't have no felon, you definitely didn't have to have a high
I was in
school
trouble when I went to the army.
I know. And they were doing that too. They were, if you got a dope case or something like that, man, go to the army, them folks erase that shit. I had an uncle that had 3-4 dope cases. That nigga went down to the go and turn himself into jail. That nigga went down to the army.
I had an armed robbery charge pending in juvenile court. Pending. And I joined the army.
And them folks let you join. Man, look, I tell you this. I be watching these young motherfuckers out here, and I tell you, man, I'm a convicted felon, but that don't stop me from protecting myself. I think that if you see a motherfucker like, when I see these young motherfuckers out here with these masks on, it made me think about the times when I was growing up and you was growing up, that when our parents told us, even if our parents wasn't shit, people in the neighborhood saying, hey, don't dress like that. You gonna bring attention to yourself. Don't do that. That's gonna make them white folk kill you. Don't do that. That's gonna make somebody kill you, boy. But nowadays, these young motherfuckers do everything that motherfuckers told them not to do to get you killed.
Okay. But see, the civilization and the times have changed. The way they are now, they openly murdering and talking about murdering motherfuckers. I know some niggas in Memphis right now got murdered Charles Robinson.
Oh yeah, man. Look, I do. Look,
Plenty of
look, I
walking
know.
the streets.
I do stories all days, and this is what tripped me out. Cause when I went to prison, I got a murder charge, but it was my second murder charge. You feel me? Because we grew up with. You remember what was that song? I keep thinking I'm a juvenile because they don't know who they fucking with. We came out with the word juvenile. They didn't have a word to describe a child that committed adult crimes into our generation. If you look in the dictionary, the word juvenile didn't come out to like 91, 92. Because they were trying to describe, because they were building juvenile facilities. And the juvenile facilities was like mini prisons. Taft, Woodland Hills, they got one down there. I was in Somerville. They got one down there in Somerville, Tennessee. Oh, what the fuck is the name of that motherfucker? You know what I
I
mean?
know you trying to.
They got one down there. I was down there. I was in every juvenile penitentiary until one day I was in the real penitentiary.
In Memphis, girl, in Memphis, they had STC and Tall Tree.
I went to Tall Tree in Memphis.
You
I went to Tall Tree in Memphis. Look, I went to Tall Tree. I went to Tall Tree group home in Memphis. You know what I mean? We ran men, about 3, 4 little young niggas from Memphis escaped from that motherfucker. You know, because it was easy.
He's great out there.
Man, look, I tell you, man, and then, them folks, like, my first bond, and I was a juvenile, my first bond for a murder charge was a million. And them folks meant it. I'm talking about, it wasn't no, all this shit now, man, they got motherfucking GoFundMe's that ain't called GoFundMe's for niggas to help them make bond. To help niggas make bond on murder cases, rape cases, robbery cases. All thing they gotta do is apply for it and then go down and make it. Some niggas in Memphis right now, like he said, on murder cases, it's one nigga that got 2 murder cases and 2 carjacking charges, and they just picked him up again, and now they ain't gonna get no bond. This motherfucker did this in like January, March, and then he just killed another motherfucker. But he on over $750,000 worth of bond, and you would think he got money, but come to find out it was a motherfucking, some shit called the Justice Fund that helps motherfuckers that can't get bonds. So y'all folk went down there and made a nigga bond that killed somebody's grandma with carjacking. And then he don't murked another motherfucker for at a car wash, carjacking him. You know what I mean? It don't get to the point where you can't even, you can't even depend on the laws to protect you. I'm one of them motherfuckers that I'm gonna walk up in the courthouse. I don't give a fuck if they catch me 10,000 times with a pussy every time.
Hey, me too.
I'm gonna stand up in there and the judge gonna say, sir, don't you think you too old for this shit? I'm gonna say, man, I'm still living, ain't
I'm gonna tell the motherfuckers.
I? I'm still living.
I'm gonna tell the motherfuckers here we live in the purge.
Man, we living out here where y'all live, motherfuckers.
Hey,
Y'all got
hey,
motherfuckers 13, 14 years old walking around with motherfucking Draco.
Look, I went to Memphis.
Yeah, motherfuckers there with motherfucking missile launchers.
We was
Get
in,
the fuck out of
we
here.
was in, I had a show in Memphis. I had a show in Memphis with Eddie Valero, May 10th. Young kid got into it. One of them pulled out a chopper, one of them pulled out a rocket launcher right in front of the club, bro. I'm looking at this shit.
And they ain't playing.
Look, my security saying, what you want me to do? Cause I'm finna pop his ass. I'm not finna let him shoot that rocket launcher. I said, hold up. Let's see what happens.
I think I let him shoot it.
Nah, I
The
saw.
only one towards me, I want to see if he
But
gonna
see,
operate that
I
motherfucker.
know what that motherfucker gonna do.
I do too.
That motherfucker gonna knock half the
But
club
look,
off.
but see if he's
That
the
boy,
one.
he gonna kill half
But
the
you
club.
think they let that motherfucker point the wrong way? Cause most of them motherfuckers don't know what they're doing.
Mine up the rocket launcher, bro.
Man, you what? These young niggas out here, but see, I keep telling them they talk about I seen some motherfuckers out with some rocket launchers too, and some grenades. Man, look, it was a nigga. Look, I pulled up at a car wash one day in Houston, right? I went down there and got a show, and I thought that this nigga was playing. That nigga said, I got grenades for $100 a pop. Just a random nigga told me this. I said, man, get the fuck out of here. I was curious, then I'm high. You know what I mean? I got the Jamaican security guard with me, and he looking at dude, he like, are you serious? He wanna buy some. So I'm sitting there, then dude pull out a bag. And dude must have worked, he must be like working like some, he was in army. He must work it like somewhere where they got this shit. Yeah. That motherfucker pulled out like 2 of them, and he was like, man, look at them. I looked at them motherfuckers, they look like they was bringing them out, like they just came out the store. Man, look, dude, and then it still had the little red government stick on that motherfucker, the GOV on that motherfucker, that still hold that motherfucker together. He said, when you take it off, it's yours. He said, but if you grip it, take the pen out, he said, you know, put the pen back in. I said, man, if I take that motherfucker out, nigga, fuck the pen. I'm going that bitch. You hear me? But you just think like, man, these folks out here literally walking around with grenades in their possession. Motherfuckers out here walk. So, but they ain't got no tank yet. But I bet you something, man. I bet you some of these country white folks need. I bet some motherfuckers got the tank.
I was in the studio in Memphis last week. I went to DJ Sweet's studio. Now, 5 young niggas coming there and cut mine. The older one that I had to be like 17, 18. Every last one of them had AR. I'm like, I asked him, I said, damn, y'all beefing or something?
Shit, that's
Like, why you say that? I I said, he was like, why you say that old school? I'm like, what the fuck I need AR for?
You gotta have something to fight back against fire.
This is what it is.
You gotta have something to fight. Look, when we went down there, with the pump, pistols, and everything. Look, you gotta be prepared when you on there. Look, I tell you, motherfucker, when you out there in this world and you move a certain way, you live a longer time. Man. If you move like a dummy, they gonna put your ass in one of the boxes.
I usually didn't have security.
I
usually go everywhere by myself, bro. My partner was like, bro, what are you doing? You get bigger, people start to know you, bro. You don't have to.
When people start noticing, yeah, because motherfucker knock you out just for clap. You feel? Yeah. But see, I knock a nigga out and go on TV and be like, man, I just knocked me a motherfucker out again, and this time it's free.
But the shit crazy though, cause like they ain't get no money or nothing.
No, they ain't even like these young motherfuckers.
Like they killing for stripes.
It ain't even for stripes. It ain't for gang colors. It ain't for stripes. These young motherfuckers, this is what they think and how they move every day. They move like, if they wake up and they steal a car, they got something to do with it. Meaning they go pick up 2, 3, 8 friends, they might steal another 2, 3 cars. Then when they got the bitches with them, they ain't got the bitches so they can go to the room and fuck them bitches. They got the bitches because the bitches won't go steal a car. You feel me? And then most likely the bitches is gay and the niggas is gay. You feel me? Because at the end of the night when them niggas pull off, the 2 girls pull off in the car and the 2 niggas pull off in the car. You know what I mean? But you got these folks, like, it ain't about money no more. These folks don't, like, when we was growing up, money was the best thing that you could ever have.
Every day.
And, man, I used to love getting up with clean clothes on. And at the end of the day, when I pull my pockets out, they so filthy like I've been out there cutting tobacco and only fucking with my pockets. Because that's that money's so dirty that your hand turned black. You feel me? You gonna grind it. But these young motherfuckers, but we had AKs, we had fucking,
all this shit.
We had the same type of weapons, but we was more interested in getting money and not bringing attention to it.
No, nobody didn't mess with our
money. Now, if it was wartime, you hear about it. Are you about them niggas in the bottom? They over shoot them niggas out north. You hear about them niggas down there fucking with them niggas in Orange Mountain. You heard about that, but nowadays you hear about, it ain't even, you can't even say them niggas. Random people. You just say, man, you hear about them young niggas? That's all you can say. You hear about them young niggas over there that killed that man over there carjacking it? Man, you hear about that young nigga that got put in the bag, thought he gonna take somebody's car, dude, shot him in the face with that rubber counter? You know what I mean? Because it's gonna either be one of the two, regardless of what the situation is. And a lot of them motherfuckers, like, I'm one of them people, man, like, I was talking to my boy the other day, and he subscribed to my page. He was talking about how he be watching me. I would never kill somebody about money. I'd kill somebody about me, kill somebody about my family. I said, I'm gonna kill a motherfucker about me, my family, my money, my possessions, and sometimes my pride. You feel me? But I'm gonna make sure any one of them situations, I'm gonna be in the right. Meaning that if it's about my pride, some nigga gonna cross that line and put that pistol on me and he didn't pull the trigger. And I'm gonna pull that pistol on him and I'm gonna blow his goddamn head off. And when he see that fight, he gonna see God and he gonna be thinking himself, boy, I should've killed him. Because he ain't gonna get a second chance. You know what I mean? Because in my life, I've been shot on the streets. I've been kidnapped on the streets. Tied up, tortured on the streets. So when I went through all that shit as a young motherfucker, that turned me into a terrorist. That turned me into a motherfucker that didn't want to ever be shot again because I fell out of it.
Like I got shot in the face, bro.
Oh yeah, it's over with.
I ain't never been without a script since then.
Man, look, I tell people all the time, man, motherfuckers say, you honestly believe this? I said, what you mean? They said, man, I heard something you say one day, you said, man, you don't give a fuck if they're a baby with a pamper on. If a baby with a pamper on walk up to me and he up there and I'm at his pamper, I'm gonna blow his ass off. I'm gonna knock his goddamn little pamper off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna blow his little pamper off here.
It's funny though. It's funny, but it ain't funny. Won't shit.
That's the truth.
You go see, that's how them kids eat.
They call them,
kids will blow your ass.
Look, over in them other countries, they use them as, what they call them, child soldiers. They brought a lot of them young man. This what the crazy. This the thing crazy fucked up thing about America, man. America brings some motherfuckers that they know psychologically fucked up damage over what they call them the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
That's what they was called, the Lost Boys. Them soldier kids that already done killed 30, 40 motherfuckers in the jungle. They brought all them motherfuckers over here and put them in a church and said we gonna let y'all be in America because the grown folks corrupted y'all to be killers. But these young motherfuckers, when they first brought them over here, a lot of them young motherfuckers snapped in the facility they was in because they don't know how to do nothing but kill. And if you don't kill 10, 15, 20 motherfuckers, man, look, and people don't understand that, like, if you ever take somebody's life, and I've done it twice, no matter if it's justified or if it ain't justified, eventually it's gonna hit you to the point where you're gonna be like, them folks, even though they nothing ass motherfucker deserve to be dead, they motherfucker got a son, he got a daughter, he got a mama, he got somebody that loves his nothing ass, you will. So then you start thinking that you might have hurt them. So then you start thinking, I'm one of them motherfuckers to get up on Instagram and Facebook and I stalk all my victims, all my past victims, family members on Instagram and Facebook so I know generate how the motherfuckers look. Cause I don't want one of them motherfuckers walk up and hit the face with that wrong county. I don't want one of them motherfuckers, I'll be in a restaurant or on stage somewhere before one of them motherfuckers, I'm like, you kill my daddy! And shoot me in the face. I'll be like that on stage trying to dodge that motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's why I tell motherfuckers, man, if I can't take that hammer in there, I don't want to go. I don't want to be there, man. I can't take that pistol in there, I'm not going to be there.
I'm the same way, but I don't even like going to nice hoods. I'm just like take this fam. But see, like, look here, like most of the places I go, they know me, so they let me do what I supposed to do.
But see, but you see, when I hear that, I think that it's somebody else saying the same thing.
It probably is,
But see, the thing about that is, that's what happens when you in certain hood clubs. Motherfuckers, he'll let him get one in, then his security guard over here start selling motherfuckers $100 a pop, bring your hammer in. And before you know it, you sitting over at the table, you see a nigga with a Draco laying between his legs. I'm saying it.
The only difference is, I just believe, I'm like the Wild West with this fat. Whoever the quickest on the drop.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck when we got a
Oh, we
Draco.
not having no conversation.
I don't care when you got a Draco, an AR,
Man, look.
and I got a 9.
Look,
If I can up that 9 first, your ass through.
man, look, I tell them
I'm
motherfucker.
smoke.
Look, I tell them motherfucker quick, man, look. If I hear your voice change in any kind of threatening manner, I'm popping you. If I look in your hand and your hand starts squeezing up like you're Incredible Hulk and your chest swell up, then I'm gonna blow your ass off.
If I see you flinch.
Oh yeah, if you even say the wrong word, because see, I'm one of them type of niggas, man. That, and I did this mostly in the penitentiary because I ain't had a fight. You know what I mean? But when niggas in the penitentiary, when I wanted to fight a nigga, I wanted to kill a nigga, I just smack a nigga open hand and call him a bitch. You call a nigga a bitch and smack him with an open hand, nigga, you ain't even worth me balling my fist up. But see, on the street, I know that nigga that I might smack with an open hand might blow my goddamn hand out. So before he can ball his fist up, that's why I trip off these niggas on the internet. They be talking about, oh, when he run up on me. Ain't no nigga run up on no nigga. Nigga, I wouldn't run up on a gorilla. So I sure ain't gonna run up on no nigga, you hear me? If I run towards a nigga, I'm gonna be trying to blow his ass off. He gonna be running out the way, you good. I just don't understand. These niggas out here, they go on the internet and they be like, oh man, if I see them niggas from such and such, man, I'm blowing the ass off, wood. But then they go to the movie with their girlfriends and wonder why when they get in the movie, that a nigga create a mass shooting and they're trying to get your ass. They turn an action-packed movie into an action-packed killing.
You know, too.
Cause you know some niggas, some motherfuckers, if you like, I'm one of them people, man, you can't threaten me. You can't threaten me. I'm talking about you can't threaten me. In no kind of way. You can't tell me cause I'm gonna knock you out, cause I'm gonna bite you, cause I'm gonna spit at you, cause I got this. You can't tell me nothing that you gonna think about doing that might do anybody harm to me.
Beat you to the punch.
Cause I'm gonna be sitting there at the front door, like, hey, Surprise, Roman counter time. And the first thing you're gonna see is fire, and the last thing you're gonna see is God. I see the devil. You're gonna see one of them motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And I'm at the age now, and I've been through so much that I know the law, and I got a lawyer that I can call 24/7, 7 days a week. When I can call him. I got a bondman that I can call 7 days a week, 24/7, up to $500,000 every motherfucking day of the week. That'll come get me. Any bond like that right there. Because over the years of me trapping, I started, what I could do, what I didn't do, and I started going like this. Here goes some money just in case I'm happy. Here goes some money just in case I'm happy. Here goes some money just in case I'm happy. Here goes some money just in case I'm happy. And then it got to the point where didn't that happen? And I was just, but I sit back, and then one day them folks started calling me, because I can't get the money back. But then it's like, you did like some money laundering type shit. But long as it's already there and that's what their purpose is, I don't get none of that money back. I can't get none of that bond money back, can't get none of that money back from the lawyer because that's paying for retainers. That's paying for if the bond up to 500,000, here you go. I'm already good because they don't come to deal because I've been paying in the chunks. They got that money probably don't spend it 1,000 times. And they ain't come get me not one time. You know what I mean? So now I look at it like back in the day, that's what niggas used to tell people to do. When you hustle in the streets, like you any kind of nigga, they say, go put your money up to the bond. You don't gotta go get no bitch your money. Go find you a lawyer and tell that man, look, I got 500 now. I got 500 tomorrow. I might probably offer give you another 500 tomorrow. And then I might not come back for 2, 3 months and give you another 500. Then I might not come back for another 2, 3 months and give you another 1,000.
That's what you do. I keep a lawyer on the time.
You got to. You got to keep a lawyer
I always keep a
and
lawyer.
a bond. Because you don't never want to depend on calling no motherfucker to come and get you. When you use your phone call, you calling the people that gonna come get you. The bond, and then when they come get you, you can call your lawyer. You feel me? I only got to wait till my one phone call gonna be the bond. And in most jails, they got the bond number on the thing, and you can call them collect. They gonna answer, even if you ain't even got the bond money. They call you and see what you talking about. You feel me? Cause I call, look, I tell you this one time when I first got into the country, I got put in a conspiracy, a drug case. When I first got out of bullshit tonight, I got pulled over, got back. I went to jail. I had $10,000 on me, but I got a dealer's license where I can buy and sell cars with dealer license. So I had $10,000 on me, but I had bumped into a nigga that I knew from the penitentiary. And this nigga was trapping. I wasn't trapping at the time. But the police followed me all the way till I got to Bell Road before I crossed over in Rutherford County. And pulled my ass out and took me to jail. When I went to jail that night, the judge was like, the night court judge, she was like, you ain't been to jail in your life? I was like 8 years old because all the other shit happened when I was so young and I ain't been in no trouble so long, it don't pop up. So I'm sitting there in jail with this money. My wife's sitting here at this house. I could have called her. I've been in jail. Look, she's so used to me disappearing for 2, 3 days. I've been down in this jail for like 9 hours. Cause that's how long it takes for the bonding process. I called like 4 or 5 of them bombers on that paper, and I was like, man, look, I ain't never used bombers in that jail at the time. I called them all like, they were like, is anybody we can meet out here to go get the money from? I'm like, no, man, I got 10 hands in my pocket in jail. Until you get dressed out, you get cash in your pocket. You know, and they had me with conspiracy, but the judge at night told them they couldn't take my money because it wasn't even my charge. That was common sense. Them folks were just searching. They were over, they pulled me over their Mercedes out there that night that I had there. But I didn't have nothing to do with nothing. But I called 3 different bonds. I called one. They said, man, no, we can't get the money from our $3 million. The bond was only like 55. I got 10 in my pocket. I'm telling them. I'm like, y'all call down these folks tell you I got 10 in my pocket. So I called the second. It was a black dude. He was like, man, I'll come down here and see you, man, and you send the money around to me. I was like, I don't give a fuck which way you do it. Nigga didn't even look, I waited 3 hours, that nigga didn't want to stop. Which is not. That nigga bluff. I called a white bitch from a whole nother number, a bondsman, and it was her motherfucking head, but the nigga was her head. The white bitch answered the phone about 3 o'clock in the morning. She was like, what? I said, man, look, I ain't the average nigga calling like most of you. I said, man, I got the money. I said, I got 10,000 in my pocket. She was like, what's your charge? I said, I got a drug conspiracy charge, man. I said, you come get me and I'll give you this 10. I don't give a fuck about that. I said, my bond number 5 to get out. I said, what you gonna charge me? 55? She said, I really need to get the money. I said, man, look, I called this one nigga. She was like, what's the name? And I told her the other 2 bonds. She said, oh, that's my husband. And I was like, man, dude said he was gonna come get me, but then he wouldn't have the phone anymore. She was like, man, he was gonna fuck shit sometime with it's a white bitch. Man, look at my bitch said, man, if I come and get you, so you come out that motherfucking door, you gotta give me my money, man. She said, I'm gonna tell them folks that I'm gonna go off your bar, you best like I run. This out there, the bitch talking on the jail phone. Man, that bitch was down there in 13 motherfucking minutes. 13 minutes. That bitch came back and them folks called me and told me to come over there, but dressed me out. The bitch came in there, man, the folks came to get me. As soon as I got out there, the bitch was like, she looked at me, she gave me one look up and down, and she looked. They got money. That bitch knew. Look, but that bitch didn't, she wasn't like, give me the money, like she was talking on the phone. Man, this bitch walked outside, walked all the way down the street, talking shit. She talking about, I can come pay her in the morning. I'm like, I got the money right, I wasn't playing. I'm putting the chunk out. You know what I mean? The bitch called her husband on FaceTime just to show me a whole ass motherfucker might come and get a real. Swear to God, she was like, man, it's the nigga that was calling you and he got the bread. She like, well, I got the money. The next day I went down there and took one, you know, they may come take a little picture and shit. I went down there and offered to take a picture. The dude was like, oh man, my bad, man. There be so many weak ass niggas. I said, the nigga calling you with a $50,000 bond and tell you he got 10 in his pocket. I said, if you go down there and look at that nigga, because they can go come down there and visit and look through the window. I said, man, you came in and looked at him, man, you would have knew I got bread. Just like your wife did. Man, that bitch said it. She said, man, I could hear it in his voice. She said, the reason I came to get you, she said, I could hear his voice. She said, I could hear it in your voice. She wasn't no fat ass nigga. She said, you didn't even sound desperate. She said, you sound angry because you felt like a nigga with money shouldn't be sitting in jail and he got the money to get out of jail. Well, and I was like, damn, they really do niggas like you? They could have the bread and them folks still walk on.
Them bitches made me do a source here.
Oh, they would do that. If you get caught with drugs, then they can do a source here.
I'm like, what the fuck? Let me prove I can't.
They do. Man, you get caught like if you get like if there's certain drugs you get caught with, like if you get caught with methamphetamines, if you get caught with like H pills, that methamphetamines, you get caught with fentanyl, heroin, cocaine. You got all the hardcore, all class A's. You got a source here. I know niggas that stayed in jail and got $2-3 million worth of property, and they make them folks stay in jail so they can prove that every dime on that property they try to put up ain't got no dope in it. You feel me? Yeah, man. Where you gonna perform at now?
I'm going on tour now. I'm about to go on tour July 5th. I'm start off in Cleveland, Ohio. Then we leave in Cleveland.
You got this shot. You got this shake drum music. Don't you?
Some of them.
Like,
I got more street music than anything, like hustle music, get up grand type of music. But when I go to St. Louis, they like shake drum songs. So
That's cause they the selling pussy in capital of the world.
I make a stripper song every time I go to St. Louis.
Hey, I tell you what, man. I'm not into too many strippers, but I'm into some sluts. So, you know, I'm telling you, like, I'm going to St. Louis, like, probably Chicago, Texas. But I like going to pussy capitals. You feel me? I like going where people where wholesale pussy. I like where pussy is sold legal, for real.
You gotta go to Hollywood.
No, but they got some places in America that got, you know, they got like the money.
Oh,
right.
Las Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I
it's
forgot about Vegas.
then you got places in Louisiana that's legal to sell pussy in Baton Rouge. You got certain parts of the United States that is legal to sell pussy. You know what I mean? Believe this, I don't Google them all. I'm a pussy bad motherfucker. I don't Google them all. It ain't a place like I ain't never been to the Bunny Ranch, but I go to the Bunny Ranch. But see, I got a standard price. Like I tell a bitch quick, man, my standard price is I got you. You know, not to the Mexican bitches, they black bitches, white bitches. And then I negotiate with her too. If I'm bad, I negotiate with her. If I was some hoe tell me 1,000 and before the end of the night I got that pussy about 300-400. But if I give a bitch some money, I'm gonna fucking every hoe she got and skinning every hoe she got, and we ain't stopping until I won't stop.
What the all for you say she for even bag of fish and you'll never eat crumb?
Oh yeah. I tell you, man, bitches don't like. I was telling Brandon earlier, man, and he was talking to Gally fuck with him. I said, man, look, if I pay for some pussy, I get to have my way with that pussy.
Yeah.
And if I pay for some pussy, that includes asshole, pussy hole, mouth hole, ear hole, nose hole, all holes. And then if I want to just come on her feet, that's part of the situation. Cause I don't let some like I tell you, like I don't like them hoes that rush me. I don't like the rush. I like the hoes that when you like. You remember when I was talking to you, talking again? I said, man, when you walk in a hotel room and you buying some pussy, and she know you buying pussy, the first thing a real hoe gonna do is say which way you want it. Fuck me up when I don't walk in some room and me and a bitch negotiating some pussy. I ain't talking about no prostitutes. I'm talking about bitches just selling pussy. You walk in their house, their room, they already ain't no let's have a drink, let's have a smoke. They already open the door butt naked, they already in the room butt naked, and they jumping on the bed talking about throwing the leg behind, talking about you want it like it, like you want it like it. Have it your way like Burger King, yeah. Because you paying for it. I ain't finna pay a bitch and get up in there and be like, yeah, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. I ain't making love to no bitch I pay for it. If I pay for it, I'm gonna beat the motherfucking brakes off that bitch. I'm gonna make that bitch wish she would've never asked for that extra 100. Bitch, you should've stuck with the 200 when you got that extra 100 after the negotiation. That added an extra hour of punch. I'm telling you, cause man, ain't no way that I feel like a nigga that's in the streets and you fuck with these bitches is different because that's street money. Street money flips so easy and come back so quick that it don't make no sense. But I trip off these niggas that go to work every motherfucking day and buy pussy. You give a bitch $200 that you had to work 36 hours for, and you could let that bitch get away with about 30 minutes of humping and bumping.
The math I mean is
Man, look, if I got a job and I give a bitch $200 and I didn't make number $600 that week, and I give a bitch $200 for some pussy, that bitch spending the night. every time I get the win, I'm putting that dick in her. You know what I mean? It's overnight slumber party in this bitch, you feel me? But when a nigga got them street tendencies, man, you got the street money, man, that shit don't mean nothing. Free money, tip money out, that shit don't mean nothing. You give a bitch $200 and fuck her for 30 minutes until that bitch gone somewhere and get a $200 hotel. You spend $400 on one bitch, it ain't shit. And then you might run across another bitch 2-3 o'clock in the morning and fuck up. You know, I used to give hoes the hotel rooms afterwards because I used to put them in their name. You get it? You know what I mean? I put them in their name and I used to fuck them because I was like, bitch, why you want this room? Bitch, you gonna steal the TV or something? Them hoes selling pussy. And then one bitch called, and this is how I know bitches are dirty, man. One bitch, it was a 2-bed in the hotel room. Then that bitch fucked on that. I cummed on her face, cummed on the bed, cummed on the floor. That bitch remade that bed up and asked me for that bed. Asked me for the hotel room when I left. I said, what you gonna do? That bitch FaceTime her nigga. I got a room. She said, I got us a room for the night. Come on, baby, I'm gonna come pick you up. I'm thinking to myself, 30 minutes ago, I was shoving so much dick down your throat, I thought you were gonna throw it. You know what I mean? And then I don't, you call no real boyfriend. I'm like, he finna come in here and tongue kiss that bitch like she just tongue kissed my dick. You know what I mean? That's why I don't kiss bitches, cause when I look at a bitch in the face and she's sucking that dick, bitches be thinking I be like, Urgh. But I really just be in my mind, I be like, you a little nasty bitch. And then I like it too, cause I be spending one of those, pull that dick out and spit on, I be like, I like you, little bitch. That's like the little Kimberly bitch. That bitch said, smack me. I said, nah, I ain't smack me. Then that bitch said, smack me. I said, fire! That bitch said, I said, oh shit! Oh shit! That bitch made me go buy a whip, man. started whipping, made a flip with that hoe.
I ain't doing that.
Why not?
Whips. Oh, you was doing the whip.
Yeah!
Oh, okay.
I ain't let that hoe whip me.
Yeah, see, that's what I was finna say.
This ain't Kuta Kinte. I'm doing the whipping. It's like a little sex whip. That motherfucker like a little white one with little tinsels and shit. I ain't let that bitch whip me. That bitch better not grab me. A ball up there, I'm gonna beat that bitch up in there. Yeah, I'm behind that security. Get this bitch. Nah, but see this hoe right here, like
I've been
bitch.
trying to tap you don't want to.
See, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Anything where I can't move my hands.
But see, you ain't got you ain't got the right one. But see, I felt like it a lot of times. But see, I told you the first bitch I ever did it with, I felt secure with her. I'm talking about it wasn't like a random hoe. This was like a bitch that I've been fucking with for years and years and years. And she was down there like a nigga's second wife. But then me and her was one day we was just out of town and we was at a sex shop and everything. You know, we buying little bullshit, handcuffs and shit like that. She talking about you gonna tie me up with the fellas and shit. I'm like, yeah, we got all shit. And look at this bitch. And it fucked me up because when that bitch put my hands, tied them over like a little nylon. It's tight, but if you can pull it out. She wanted me to handcuff my hand. But the nylon, and just to have a little force, I know I can pull it out, but just to have a little force while I'm pulling, and that bitch was riding that dick, it was like a thrill. Then that time, that bitch grabbed me like that. That bitch said, look at fuck that bitch said. I said, God damn. I said, God damn, man. And then she was like, you always talking about like, no, keep on doing it. I said, damn. And it fucked me up that that bitch was choking me, and I was like a young nigga about 12, 13. I was coming every goddamn where. I was like, man, this shit is good. But then I tried with another bitch another time. Nah, this bitch here, man, this bitch almost got fighting up in there. Cause this bitch was on some other shit. Look, this bitch, I knew the bitch, but I had it in my mind that I really didn't trust the bitch. So I took, and it's so crazy, I took this bitch, me and this bitch both from Nashville. I took this bitch all the way to Indiana and got a hotel room one night. Me and her drove 7 hours to the casino in Indiana just to get a hotel room. The bitch said, I'll follow you. I said, nah, bitch, I'm picking you up. And when the bitch got to call me again, when I told the bitch, I said, give me your phone and your weight. You don't need no money on that. Man, we went to the hotel, and we got that motherfucker, you know, I was like, this little skinny little guy, and then she like a little messy. That bitch said, let me tie you up. I said, let me tie you up. I tied the bitch up, fuck, I was about $200. We go to the casino down the road, go back into the room, I'm going to get it. That is good. We drank that shit. So, I let the bitch tie me up. One of my hands was tied up a little too goddamn tight. Like, it was like she was trying to, like, it could be a robbery, you feel me? So I don't panic up in there, but I don't know if it was me, but it turned out to be a fucked up situation because the bitch already butt naked, and when she tied me up, the bitch didn't get on the bitch got up and walked off. You know what I mean? She walked off, but by the time she came back, I don't broke one, I loosened when that bitch came in, I punched that bitch in the face. That bitch was like, oh no, please. That bitch said, what you do that for? I said, bitch, you better untie me, ho. I got 1 foot off and I'm kicking it that hoe. That bitch, you got up.
They said like me, I get scared.
But see, I keep that, but see now, I keep that pistol near me. Like, if I go to a hotel room with a bitch, I keep that pistol up under me. You know what I mean? I keep that pistol up under me. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get off this been an hour. But yeah, I'll be telling these folks, man, shout out all your songs, shout out what you want to put out, bro.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Sidewalk King, Sidewalk Music. Hey, be on the lookout. We coming to a city near you. I'm gonna be in St. Louis, Cleveland, Ohio, Atlanta, Memphis, Nashville, and some other cities to be announced, man. So be on the lookout for Sidewalk King.